So I want to do a video on a lot of things, but fathers and sons in a world where we live. I could talk about mothers and sons and daughters and all the other things, but fathers and sons. We live in a world where culture is changing, things are changing, everything's changing. Not always for the good. You know, there was a design, whether people believe it or not, whether which way the design came, how it came. You know, things get diluted, of course, because of people's minds, right? Hearts, minds. People don't. There's a lot more going on than just this here, over here, you know. And when we start realizing that fathers have such a, even in daughters' lives, but they have such a purpose, and this world is trying to tear that foundation apart. I just feel tired of people doing that, but it's never going to end. It's never going to stop. But if we don't talk about it, so we can act out about it and be about it, sounds great. But really, we need to start changing. You know, there's a lot of fathers out there that are capable, but they got messed up, they got strung out, they got misdirected, they got all types of things going on. And I feel the need to talk to somebody today. If someone's out there hearing this, you know, sometimes you have to go through stuff to be a dad. You know, you think you're there's people in relationships where maybe they don't feel like they want to be in a relationship and be a dad. You gotta do your best to stay there, to be a dad to those kids, no matter what is going on the other side. You have to find strength, you have to find purpose, you have to find the will to do it. And you gotta find enjoyment in being a father. You gotta find a cause in being a father. You can't just be weak. You have to be stronger inside. You have to stop giving in to all these things out there that are taking you, pulling you, distracting you from your fatherhood. And we need to raise some boys in the world boys in the world. We need to raise some men, young men. You know, I can personally talk about this because I have boys, older boys even, and they're so different. Even my oldest one, he's, you know, he was robbed from me, from his mom. Basically took off with him for a good amount, probably about 15 years of my, or 12 years, 15 years of our relationship was robbed. And when he came back, he was already, you know, a young man. And we found each other, and he was persecuted. No, but he was definitely given some false information about me. He actually had a bunch of stuff ingrained in his head about me that was not true, because that person didn't even know me. I mean, we had sexual encounters 3 times over a 4-month period. I mean, she never got to know me, you know. And yeah, so, and it's sad because that boy, my oldest, I call him a boy because yet to be a man. I publicly speak that because a man would not run from these things. A man would talk to his father and would address these issues. And I'm not the best communicator. I'm not the best person to even maybe discuss some of these things. But talking about it actually is a good thing, because I talk in love. I don't talk in hate. I don't talk in division. I don't talk in separation. I'm always looking for healing. I'm always looking for answers, solutions to help problems. I don't want problems in my world no more at my age. My time is very valuable. I spend on this earth, and maybe I don't always value it the most myself personally, but I'm trying to. And that's what I want to teach my boys, to value time and value this life, and not to get distracted or taken off course. And, you know, if my oldest son listened to this right now, I wouldn't be ashamed at things I've said, because I love him and I want him to have a relationship with me, you know. Whether that happens or not, it's not up to me. I can't do nothing amongst people who have free will. People have their own choice, right? Some people like that free will stuff. It sounds like God stuff, right? But it's true. We all have choices. We make our own plans, right? We make our own choices. We do what we want. We think what we want. We feel what we want. So, with that being said, I have to make this video too long, but I like to spark ideas in people's minds. I like to have ideas to put out there into the world, you know. And my second oldest son, you know, he was kind of robbed of a relationship with me, but he's different. He seeks that relationship with me today, you know, and we're not even in the same zip code, but we make time for each other. And my third oldest son, who just turned 18, he is virgin around his own plans, doing his own thing, and life will teach his lessons to him as it comes. Because I know he's my son, I know the strengths he has, and I know the weaknesses he has too. And that's part of being a father, is addressing those weaknesses and those strengths that you pass down to your children and the generations from before even that are passed down to me, to them. You know, all these things have a cause and effect. And I just want people to understand, at least get an ear of this information in their minds, wherever that mind may be, because we all have a mind somewhere else besides this mind. There's something else inside of us, around us, whatever you want to call it, that's a lot deeper than we think. I just like to say to any father out there, I challenge you to stop blaming your wife, your girlfriend, your partner for any thing that you have failed in. And not saying you pick on yourself or treat yourself bad because you have failed, but to pick yourself up and stop failing. Because that's the only way that this world's going to change, is by growth. And we need to grow as men, because it is our world, whether women like it or not. And I have full respect for women and their part in this world. You know, I didn't make the design. I didn't choose the options. It is what it is. And I humbly say that because if you think about it, it's a gift given to us. It's a challenge, actually, for us to be better and to do better and to show people, our kids and the women in our lives, to do better for them also, so that they may grow. I just challenge people to think deeper. Get out of that box you're in. Stop being distracted by all the stuff that wants to distract you right now, and grow some.